Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am here with another FlossTube update. This is FlossTube episode 4 and this is October's update. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different this time and give you guys a little bit of a life update. I've had a very busy month, so I've got loads to talk about. So grab yourself a cuppa and come and hang out with me for the next 20 minutes to half an hour. I don't know how long this is going to be. It might be a bit of a long one. So as I said, October has been pretty busy for me. It was my birthday month this month and it was also my boyfriend's birthday month. Something that was a little bit disappointing is that we were actually supposed to be in Japan this month. We were supposed to fly out on my birthday, which was the 14th, and we would have flown back yesterday, but because of the current circumstance, I'm sure you can understand that we didn't end up going. Of course, that's really disappointing, but we tried to make the most of it because it was Mark's 30th. We just wanted to do something special, and I think we did in the end. It wasn't quite what we expected, but sometimes you've just got to think it is what it is. I'm glad that we didn't go this year and not have got to have seen as much stuff or to have not been as safe, and it will be there next year for us or the year after or whenever we get to travel. So yeah, I guess it's something to look forward to. But because we couldn't go to Japan, we carried on having just a week off this time. We had a week off work and we spent a couple of days in Cambridge. I have been to Cambridge before, but I had mainly been to the university, so I kind of went with school, and we had like a tour of the university and went and spoke to them a little bit. I've never actually been around the town itself, and we had such a lovely time. If you've never been to Cambridge, I would definitely recommend it. On our way there, we stopped off at a place called Bletchley Park, which is a museum, and I am a bit of a museum geek. I freaking love museums. So for those that don't know, Bletchley Park was a site during World War II where the Allies decoded the messages that came through. If you've ever seen the film The Imitation Game, that's where that's based, and around Alan Turing and his life. And yeah, it was just so incredible. It was so interesting. If you ever get to go, I would definitely recommend it. You get to kind of understand how the messages were coded in the first place, and then how they were sent round and decoded by the Allies, and also bearing in mind that they weren't in the same language, they were in different languages, so people were learning like Japanese like in 2 weeks or however stupid amount of time that they had to. So yeah, it was really interesting. I think it's quite an important part of our history as well, so if you ever get to go, I would definitely recommend it. So we stopped off at Bletchley Park on the way there, and then we just kind of spent a day in Cambridge. We were in a contactless B&B, so it was like a barn. I'll include some photos because it was such a nice place. It was a barn conversion, and you get your breakfast included, but because of the current climate, it all needed to be contactless. So the lady that runs it was so lovely, and she leaves you your breakfast out when you get there, so you can we had some granola and crumpets and bread and muffins and all sorts of cool stuff, and then you just message her when things have depleted and she will come and top it up for you in the evening. So it was such a cute little barn, such a cute little place to stay. We really enjoyed it. And so then for the second day, we just spent the whole day in Cambridge, mainly just walking around. We did go to another museum. It was the Fitzwilliam Museum, and that was really interesting, full of items that the British have stolen off of other cultures, but nevertheless, it was quite interesting. And Cambridge as a whole is just such a tranquil place. One thing that we really noticed is because they're on bicycles all the time, there was no rush hour traffic. It was just really chilled. We had a nice wander around and the weather was perfect. I love autumn. Autumn is my favourite season, and it was dry, and just a really nice crisp autumn day. So we had such a nice time, and it was nice to do something for Mark's birthday. So the next thing that I've got to talk about is something that's really exciting news for me. You may have noticed that in my past couple of videos I have mentioned dogs. That is because dogs are constantly on my mind. I really, really want a dog so bad. The dog that I've mainly been interested in is called a Samoyed. I will include a picture for you if you don't know that breed. But as you can see, they're quite big. They're not like little teeny tiny dogs. They are probably like a golden retriever size. They're medium to large dogs, and they are just fluff, completely made of fluff. Believe it or not, they are actually hypoallergenic. They're classed as being hypoallergenic, but I'm sure you can imagine that they shed a lot of fur. And the reason that I'm mentioning that is because this is my dog of choice and I am allergic to dogs. Which I know sounds really, really strange, but I've grown up with dogs. I've had a German Shepherd cross between a collie, which was probably around a similar size to what a Samoyed is. Growing up, I was absolutely fine. I wasn't allergic to it at all. Then we had a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and I wasn't really allergic to her. I think calves have more hair rather than they do fur. So I just kind of had a little bit of a mild allergy. When I'm saying I'm allergic, it is always a mild allergy. The main thing that I do is sneeze. And to be honest, I think that having an antihistamine would be fine with the dog, but we'll get back onto that anyway. But yeah, so it's just a little bit of sneezing. It's not that I struggle to breathe or anything, but constantly sneezing annoys other people more than it does me. So I've got a friend who has got a few cats, and whenever I go to their house, I just kind of get grilled of, have you had an antihistamine? And I'm like, no! And I just carry on stroking the cats anyway, and I sneeze all evening. And they just get really annoyed by it. So I'm sure it's not nice for people to hear people sneezing, but they get annoyed because I make sure that I still spend time with the cats and that I am still fussing them. Because I love animals and I don't care that I'm sneezing. It's worth it to pet the animals. So even with my mild allergy, I'm sure that you can understand, looking at a Samoyed, that me living with that dog, its fur being all over the house and everything, if I'm allergic to it, it's going to be a bit of an issue. So I decided, this is a little bit strange, I decided to join some Facebook groups about Samoyeds and just ask if it would be possible for me to meet someone's dog, which isn't the most sanest thing I've ever done in my life. But it worked, and I got to meet two Samoyeds, and I wasn't allergic to them at all. Samoyed's fur is, I can't describe it, it's different to any other kind of dog fur that I've ever felt, and it is really soft. It's probably more like cotton wool than it is hair or fur. It's so fluffy, it's so soft and so fluffy, as if they weren't lovable enough. So yeah, it's absolutely fine. So now I have put my name down with some breeders. So yeah, I'm really hoping that sometime soon I'll have a little doggy to show you and to make videos about. It's not going to be anytime soon. It's looking likely to be more like next year than it is this year. I mean, we've only got 2 months left of this year, so that's understandable. But all of the breeders that I've contacted aren't breeding yet. Their dogs aren't pregnant, so it shouldn't be anytime soon. But I am just so excited. I really can't wait. So just a little bit of a funny story of something that happened. So when I contacted that Facebook group and asked them if I would be able to go in and see someone's dog, there was somebody that replied, and I don't want to say that I don't want to sound ungrateful, because it is really, really nice. Everybody was so helpful, and I had quite a few offers for people to say, yeah, I'm in the area, come down, come and visit my dog. And with COVID as well, I thought it might not happen, but there were quite a few people that were willing to, and that were conscious of COVID as well, and making sure that we were all safe when I was meeting their dog. But I did get one reply which made me laugh. So somebody commented, and I can't remember what it was word for word, but they basically said, I had the same issue as you. I contacted a kennel club registered breeder and asked them if it was possible if I could go and meet their dog. I met them and I was fine. I wasn't allergic to them. But they did give me a bag of the dog's hair. So I know it's not the fun day out that you had planned, but if you're struggling, I can send you the bag of hair. So I'm sure, as you can appreciate, I wasn't really up for that. It was a surreal enough experience asking somebody if I could meet up with their dog, never mind asking for a bag of hair in the post. So I'll keep you guys updated on the dog situation as it develops. But yeah, let's get into some stitching. So to be honest, I don't have an awful lot of stitching to show you. I've done quite a lot of stitching, but just not on many different pieces. So I'll show you what I've got. In my last video, as a piece of haul, I showed you that I had received Hello Dear in the post, and that is the first one that I've got to show you all. So as you can see, I've done a fair bit, to be fair. For saying that I hadn't started it when I made that video, this is part 1, part 2, and the majority of part 3. So part 3 was kind of the rabbit here. So I've just got a couple more bits to put here. Maybe something there as well, I can't remember. But yeah, that's Hello Dear. This is my first piece that I've worked on that is on even weave. And I've been really, really loving even weave. I think the thing that I didn't expect was how soft it is. I don't know why. I'd never felt it before. I'd never experienced it. And when it came in the post, I was like, oh my God, this is so soft. So I have really, really been enjoying the actual process of stitching it. But the thing that I like the most is just the finish and the way that it looks. Because yeah, you can't really see all the holes like you can in Ada. So I think that going forward, when I am buying new materials and new patterns, I think I am just going to go straight onto even weave because I am really enjoying that. I'm not sure how I feel about linen just yet. I watched a FlossTube the other day, I can't remember whose it was, but they basically said about how, it might have been X-Stitch MD, it might have been a while ago as well, the other day, it was like a month ago. So I think it was Shiloh that said that when you stitch on linen, because the way it's woven isn't even, it's in the name, because it isn't even, your stitches end up being different sizes, so that kind of put me off a little bit. I wouldn't say put me off, it just made me less interested in trying it. I'm really, really happy with the even weave, so I think going forward I probably am going to carry on with that. But yeah, that's it for Hello Dear. I am really, really loving it. I love the pattern, I love the artwork on it, and the simplicity of it as well. I love that there isn't any backstitch, and having it as a stitch along and having the different parts coming out periodically has been really, really good. It's just made me feel like it's more manageable and that I can actually finish it. And I mean, judging by how much I've done, I probably am going to finish it in time and kind of as the pieces come out. Next, what I've got to show you is the Disney Nursery bundle, which I am currently stitching for my cousin. Last time I spoke to you guys, I had been working on the bunting and I've continued. So last time I had done these two. So we've got a Dalmatian and we've got Dumbo. And then this month I have also finished Bambi. Last time I kind of said to you that I can't cope with how cute these are, and I still cannot cope. They are completely adorable. And I think the pattern for them all, because if you've not seen my other videos, these come in different there's different pieces within the pack. So there's bunting, there's a height chart, there's a cushion cover and a hoop. So they're all of the same things kind of repeated. So I probably am going to end up stitching these again, which is absolutely fine with me because they are, like I say, so cute. So there's that one of Bambi, and then the next one was Marie from the Aristocats. How cute is she? That one is adorable. My cousin is actually having a girl, so for that one, me and my sister have been like, oh, and because Marie is so cute as well. So yeah, there's that one. And that's all my stitching. Like I say, I've done a fair amount for saying that I went away as well for 2 days. But yeah, so I've not got much stitching done on many pieces. In one of my earlier FlossTubes, I remember saying that I am a fairly monogamous stitcher. So for me personally, I can't just stitch on one piece for one day and then be like, oh, okay, let's move on to another one, because I think that you're not going to see as much progress in a short amount of time because of how you kind of schedule in everything you're stitching. If you just do one day, you're just going to get a few stitches in. For me as well, because I work full time, so it's mainly done in my evenings. But yeah, you're going to see just that little section done, and then you don't really see any changes to the overall picture. So I prefer to stitch on a piece for a week and then change it up the following week. It's been a little bit different because I've wanted to get Hello Dear done for when the next part comes out, and sometimes that's taken me just over a week, probably around 10 days, and then I've had a few days just to do a piece of bunting. But yeah, I'm probably going to do something similar next month, just because I want to carry on with Hello Dear, and because my cousin's due date is imminent. So I need to make sure that I have a few pieces of that done before she gives birth. So I also remember that in a earlier FlossTube I said that Fellowship of the Ring, Afternoon Nap and Sailor Moon Staff were going to be the 3 that I was going to work on, and then because I'm a monogamous stitcher, so I'm not going to start any until then, and I've literally not done any of them this month. But I guess that's how it goes. I've been trying to tell myself that it's not a schedule, you know, it's your hobby. You can do whatever you feel like. It's okay. No one's going to tell me off because of what I said in the past and what I'm doing now. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Okie dokie, so moving into haul / stitchy kindness, I guess. I've had my first bit of stitchy kindness. As I mentioned, it was my birthday this month, and I had quite a lot of either cross stitch stuff or FlossTube stuff, which is really, really exciting. You might have noticed the first one, and that is kind of this setting. So you can't really see it, but you can see the effect that it's having. I have had some new lights for my birthday. I've got 2 that are here, kind of, yeah, reflecting on the wall and me. And then I've also got like a ring light behind with a tripod for my phone. So yeah, I got those. These lights were from my friend who is a photographer, and he has also helped me with lighting this video and given me some advice on it. So yeah, he's a little bit of an expert on lighting, so thank you, Simon, for helping me with that. If you are interested in his photography, he does a lot of photography of cosplayers, so if you want to see some cool costumes and some really good photography, I've included his Instagram in my description below. So the lights were from Simon and his girlfriend Alice, so that was kind of like Simon's contribution, and then Alice's contribution was this amazing card. So it is, for those that don't know, this is a Pokemon. So this is Dratini, Dragonette and Dragonite, and Dragonite is my favourite Pokemon and is kind of like a character that I've got like tons of stuffed toys and little figures and stuff of Dragonite because he is my favourite. So yeah, so this is cross stitch that she's done, and then she's put it on a card as well. She didn't write the card because she didn't have a silver pen, but it's fine, Alice, it's fine. So yeah, so she stitched that for me. It was such a nice surprise. And I think that's probably the first time that anybody's cross-stitched something for me. So it was really, really lovely. She's done it on, I think it's definitely a smaller count. She says that she's normally used to doing 14 count, but I think it's a little bit smaller. It looks like either a 16 or an 18. So yeah, thank you so much for that, Alice. I'm going to include Alice's Instagram in the description as well. She does a little bit of kind of like crafty things, so she posted about her cross stitch. She's just recently got back into cross stitch, so she might be one to watch. But she actually does do cosplay as well. She creates her own costumes and some of them are absolutely incredible. So definitely go and check out her Instagram. And yeah, not only does she do like cross stitchy type bits, she does embroidery, and just tons of other crafty stuff. Go and check her out. Something else that I got for my birthday, which was also Pokemon related, was a chart from Melee Missy Stitchery on Etsy. I'll put the link down in the description and I'll show you guys the picture. So it is of a Pokemon called Eevee, and this is a really cool pattern. So I've seen this for quite a while on Instagram and it looks so cool. So you have a hoop where you do the Pokemon's body, and then with some plastic Ada you do the tail, and then you kind of attach it to the hoop so it looks like its tail is kind of dangling off the hoop. So yeah, I had my eye on that for a while, and my friend Chloe asked what I would like for my birthday, so I asked for that. I also have one of the needle minders from the same shop on the way in the post. So when that comes, which I'm sure will be for next month's FlossTube, I'll show you then. So those were the birthday bits that I got. Just before my birthday, I think this was maybe around the time of my last video, but I don't think or it might have been just after. Yeah, it would have been just after. Basically, Mark's parents they basically keep everything. They're those type of people where I wouldn't call them hoarders because there isn't tons of stuff everywhere, but they don't like to throw things away. They prefer it if they can kind of give it to somebody and somebody else will find use for it rather than just having to throw it away. So they end up keeping things from years and years ago, and then they come across it and they're like, hey, I wonder if somebody would want that. And this is what happened with these, and you can tell that they have been kept for quite a while. So they basically discovered some kits that they had kind of stored away up the loft. And yeah, they are, I mean, especially these ones. So I'll show you these ones. You can tell that they are definitely 90s inspired. Like that just reminds me of Groovy Chick and those sorts of things that were really, really popular in the 90s. And the fashion as well, like, yeah, the kind of the skirts and all the colours and the midriff showing and the pigtails and everything in the hair, like that is a blast from the past. So yeah, and it's quite funny just how there's like a visible change in how cross stitch has adapted over the years and how it has changed, how the style's changed and what things people are interested in stitching. The other ones are this one here, and I would read that backwards but I can't. It says, daughters are angels sent from above to fill our hearts with everlasting love. We've got another one that says, blessings come in many ways, the nicest come as friends. Without a friend like you, my world would be a much duller place. Have a lovely day. Which are so cute. Like they are quite simple. Sorry, there's a little bit of glare. But yeah, they're just quite simple ones to do. They said to me that they don't expect me to stitch them all, but it's just kind of like if more than anything, if I just want the threads out of them, and the Ada, then that's perfectly fine. I don't know if I will do these ones because they are certainly, like I say, they're a blast from the past. They are, but I really like this one. I think this one's really cute, the little dog one. So yeah, I might stitch that. But as you all know, I think it's the same for everybody, isn't it? We all see patterns that we like and we want to make gifts for people, and we just end up with tons and tons of starts. And I want to get some finishes. I want to actually do some stuff. I feel like it is quite good though with the bunting that I am I am getting little finishes along the way, because kind of per piece I'm finishing it, but it's one whole part of an FFO. So yeah, just going back to that one, I've got one more bit of the bunting left, and that's Thumper. So hopefully for my next video I'll have an FFO for you guys. So we're still sticking with haul at the minute, and one thing that I bought, I did actually have this last month, but I didn't really have a reason to talk about it, and it's just basically that I have bought a new tablet. Before I was using just a really old iPad that I had. I probably had it for probably a good like 10 years. Like it was on its last legs, and I think with a lot of iPads and kind of Apple products in general, they start to slow down after a couple of years, and it had started slowing down after 2 years, and I kept it for another 8. So yeah, I definitely was in need for a new iPad or tablet of some sorts. Well, basically with the iPad, I couldn't even highlight, I couldn't get an app to work that could load up a pattern and then I could highlight off the stitches that I had done, because it just couldn't handle it. The software it was up to date, but it just wasn't, the physical thing could not handle it, and it would just close down every time I tried to do that. So I thought I'll treat myself to a new tablet, and get something where I can kind of mark off the stitches. And this month I discovered the app Pattern Keeper, which I'm sure a lot of you have been using it for years or however long it's been around. And yeah, Beth, you're late to the party. But if you haven't, if there's one person that's watching that doesn't know about Pattern Keeper and has a device that can take it, download it. Pause this video right now and go and download Pattern Keeper, because it is, I mean, I put on my Instagram, I don't mean to sound dramatic, but it has changed my life, and I stand by those words. What is so, I will try and show you what I can, but it's quite hard with copyright. I don't want to show off somebody else's chart that they've put a lot of effort into making and I've purchased, and then I just show it off. Okay, I guess this is quite a good page. Yeah, you literally cannot see what that is at all. So just kind of showing you that. So you basically, you can see the ring light in the background, I'm sorry. But you can basically, you've got along here, you've got some writing, and that kind of says how many stitches you've done, how many you've done that day, and how many you've done in total, which is going to be really, really handy for me, because I have spent so long having to manually count how many stitches I've done. And I think I've got it wrong a couple of times as well, so it's so nice to have something that does it for me. You kind of import all of your threads down here of what you're using, and then it kind of builds the pattern for you, and you can even highlight a colour. So we've got 310 there, and it will show you where they are. Oh my goodness, okay. When you are kind of highlighting them, you can highlight it freehand. I've had some apps where, because it's more of like a PDF reader, it's just kind of highlighting it like you're highlighting a book. But with this, you can kind of highlight everywhere you want to highlight. And then you just kind of tick that to say that you've done those stitches. If there's some stitches that you've done incorrectly, you can highlight those, and then it even has a little frog symbol to say that you want to frog those stitches. Yeah, and it kind of counts as well how many stitches you've got left of that thread. So if you are running low on one and you don't know whether whether to buy a new skein just for when it runs out, you can kind of clearly see how many stitches you've got left in that colour. It's amazing. It is so incredible, and like I say, if you haven't downloaded it, you need to go and download it, because it has changed my life, and I mean that. Whew, my goodness, I feel like I've been talking for so long. If you're still here, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking around with this video. I think it's a bit longer than what I normally do. But like I did last time, I thought I would just close off by recommending you guys some FlossTubers. So the first FlossTuber that I want to recommend is Sean. She is from Craftygamingjamie. Captivating Creations. And she actually did give me a shout out in her last video, but I was planning on giving her one anyway. So if you're watching, Sean, I'm not doing this just because you gave me one. She stumbled across my channel, I think, and then we got talking in our comments, and we kind of figured that we have quite a similar style. We've got a similar style of stitching, so I know she's doing Hello Dear at the minute, and we both really love Rendale designs. So yeah, we've got quite a few similarities there. So yeah, I was going to recommend her anyway, but if you came from Sean's video, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that I can live up to the expectations of Sean, because she is really, really good at FlossTube. The next channel that I want to recommend is Jen. Her channel is Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole, and yeah, Jen is just somebody who, if you kind of think of the perfect community member, that's Jen. I see her kind of, there's FlossTubers that I stumble across and there's videos that I watch, have a look down in the comments like, oh, there's Jen. Like she's so good at interacting with the community, and you can just tell that she is really, really invested for all the right reasons. She wants to engage with people, and she does kind of watch the videos and engage with those creators as well. So she, not too long ago, she started her own FlossTube channel, and yeah, I would really, really recommend her. Some of the stitching that she's doing is right up my street. So she's got some Disney pieces on the go for her stepdaughter, and she is going to be starting a Pokemon piece for her stepson as well. I feel like this has been a very Pokemon heavy video, and I've never mentioned that I like Pokemon. I'm a big Pokemon fan, so now you can tell. But yeah, Jen's really, really lovely. So yeah, definitely go and check out her FlossTube. And finally, I wanted to recommend to you Jamie. Her channel is Craftygamingjamie. She has, in my opinion, a really, really good choice of the things that she stitches. She's got quite a few Hades in there. She is, as you can kind of tell from her YouTube channel, she is a nerd and kind of is into that nerd culture, which is, again, right up my street. There's a lot of kind of gaming things in there. She has some patterns from the Cross Stitch Salon, which is one of my favourite stores. So she's got a lot of pieces that are kind of from nerd culture, including, so I know she's definitely doing a Sailor Moon piece at the moment, which I'm also doing. It's not the same piece, but I have a love for Sailor Moon too. She has some Final Fantasy in there, some Kingdom Hearts, and I can't remember anymore off the top of my head, but yeah, there's just a lot of things that I kind of from that area, which I also really, really enjoy as well. So if you do as well, go and check out Jamie's channel. And that's it. That is my October update. I definitely think that this has been a bit of a long video, a bit longer than my other videos. So give me some feedback. Let me know what you think about that. Do you prefer this kind of long? I tried to make it a little bit more of a chatty video, or would you prefer something that's a bit more to the point and you don't want to hear about my obsession with dogs, you just want to hear about stitching, which is completely fair enough. Just let me know. I'd also love some feedback on the new set. I'm not gonna lie, it was a pain to settle, but I actually really, really enjoy it, so I'm quite liking it. So I hope it looks okay, including these fairy lights. These they're from the range in the UK, and me and my mum love like home decor and that kind of stuff, and we were literally just walking down the lighting and I saw it and I was like, I like that. I don't know where it would go, but I like it. So I bought it. It was probably like a couple of months ago, and yeah, it's kind of been sat in its box ever since. But Mark, bless him, he was so sweet. He was helping me kind of set up the lighting, and yeah, he's had quite a few ideas, like the candle, and with these as well. He was like, oh, let's go get this, let's go get those. So yeah, thank you Mark so much for helping me with my lighting, and he's just a good egg anyway. He's been so supportive with FlossTube. Some of you may have come from, so he actually made a Reddit post on my behalf. I didn't know that he was doing this, but he made a post on Reddit kind of saying, I know nothing about cross stitch, but my girlfriend started FlossTube, can you go and watch her? Because I don't use Reddit, so I don't know anything about it. So he did that for me, which was really, really sweet. So yeah, he is adorable and really, really supportive. So thanks, Mark. I'll give you a shout out too. But that's it. I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm very warm. These lights let out some heat. But thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. If you want to see some more, go ahead and click subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.